Okay, good evening everyone. Welcome sa ating bagong talakayan patungkol sa creation energy teaching or any related into Belimar material na present sa atin. So, ang topic natin is wala tayong topic but we can indulge on about fluidal energies and reincarnation or anything under the sun na pwede nating pag-usapan at himayin. So, siguro, magbasa tayo doon sa, medyo mahaba ito, pero I think it will sum up a bit and then magre-raise ng mga questions. Ito related to sa mga phenomena. Like siguro kapag alam natin sa mga espiritista, marami siyang mga question and answer doon. So, part siya ng fluidal energies patungkol sa reincarnation, mga storage bank, mga apparition, mga phenomena, ectoplasm din. So, I think mag-start tayo sa impulses about storage bank. Ganun. Sa page 200, maybe 200, 214 dito. So, sabi sa question, does the mental fluidal power live because the human being lives? Sabi dito. So, ang sagot is answer, any fluidal power in its existence is based on the fact that it is created by a living human being. The fluidal powers, however, also cease to exist again when the human being dies. This applies to all kinds of fluidal power except for the mental fluidal power which are stored in the body and skeleton, as well as the places or objects, etc. And thus remain preserved for a very long time, often over thousands of years. Equally, the continued existence also does not apply to the actual aura, respectively the aura swinging way. The aura, fluidal power, and fluidal energy because this dissolved within a short time when the material has lapsed into death. Ganun. So, tinatanong kung yung mental fluidal power daw is maglilib o tatagal hanggang buhay ang tao. So, sabi nila is magme-maintain siya but based on how we created or stored yung powers na yon. So, for example, yung mga pang-araw-araw natin, kasi yung body natin, kasi electromagnetic kasi yung body natin. So, yung electromagnetic, it produce some frequencies or that frequencies can convert into memories or impulses, ganun. And then mag-store yan sa mga gamit-gamit natin. So, pwede siyang mawala o ma-displace, but technically, yung fluidal powers, mag-store siya ng matagal sa ating katawan, lalo na sa buto, sa mga organs natin. It will preserve for very long time, over 100 to 1,000 years. Depende kung gaano na-preserve yung body. Ganun. But, ganun din sa mga kagamitan natin objects and it will remain too. Kaya para magkakaroon siya ng parang familiarity or magkakaroon siya ng parang familiarity. Yun lang naman yung ang purpose ng fluidal powers. Ganun. Ano nang pa may tanong kayo? Yeah. Which is related ito sa later on sa mga reincarnation cycle ng isang tao. Magkakaroon ng back connection. Okay, next question. Kung walang tanong pero kapag may naisip kayong tanong, you're open to ask question. Kasi open topic naman tayo ngayon. Question 2. When the human being dies, pag namatay daw ang tao, does the mental fluidal power then therefore still exists for some time. Kapag namatay daw ang tao daw, yung mental fluidal power ba natin ay mananatili pa rin sa mahabang panahon? Sabi sa answer, the mental fluidal power is still present in the bones. So mananatili pa rin siya sa ating katawan, like especially sa bones, sa buto. Respectively in the skeleton for years, hundreds of years or sometimes even for several thousand of years. Even if the body has long since decayed, it simply becomes weaker and weaker. So logically, kapag ang buto is nadidecay at hindi masyadong na-preserve, magiging weaker and weaker siya, yung fluidal energies din, yung mental fluidal energies. And sabi niya, it is however also possible that mental fluidal powers are very strongly stored in objects, in places or in rooms, respectively in walls. Ultimately, it transforms into other energies because the skeleton also eventually breaks down and dissolve, just that also happen with the objects, etc. So, yun yung explanation doon. So, kapag ang isang bagay o objects is na preserved, like yung mga antiques, ganon, especially matitigas na bagay like mga iron, metal, gold, mga static na mga object, ganun. The fluid, mental fluid powers na na-store doon, mananatili. Ganun din sa mga sa buto.
Ibig mo sabihin yung nakahawakan nung namatay, gano'n. Yung mga metal na madalas hawakan nung namatay.
Yeah. Yeah, lalo na yung mga suot nila like sing-sing, kwintas, ganun. Lahat ng mga frequencies na inimit niya like mga fluidal energies, mental fluidal energies, pag-iisip, lahat-lahat, feelings, thoughts, may stored siya doon sa bagay na yun. So kaya nga minsan pag nagpunta tayo sa mga lumang mga bahay, marami tayong mararamdaman na kakaiba, parang kahit na namayapan na yung lola natin o lolo natin na matagal na, mararamdaman mo pa rin yung presensya nila dahil sa mental fluidal powers na naka-store doon, naka-store doon sa mga gamit. Especially yung mga yon, pwede rin ma-access din in the next life at mag-apparisyon. Ganun. At kung titingnan nyo din sa, I don't know, I think mga guys sa intelligence din knows about this, about mummifying, yung mag-mummified sila. Preserve nila. Sige, they know the fluidal powers. Kasi pag hari ka or pharaoh ka, tapos minarified ka, tapos it lasts for thousands of years or hundreds of years. Kapag ipinanganak ka kasi, yung mga knowledge and wisdom mo pa rin, mas mabilis mo siyang ma-access, mas marami kang matap na mga information from your past life doon sa mga linkage na naka-store sa mga fluidal energies, sa mga buto-buto mo, ganun. Or sa mga...
Okay. Question doon. Ano ang magagawa ng fluidal energy na yun sa tao, sa atin? Except na kung meron kang sensitive, makikita mo, di ba? Pero ano naman ang power na magagawa nun?
Yeah, good question.
Wala naman. Wala naman.
Marami siyang advantage ang fluidal energies kasi para siyang kumbaga para siyang disket. Ano kapag naabutan yung disket na o USB na lang kasi mas present. Para kang mag-store siya ng mga information doon, di ba? Tapos kapag gusto mo siyang ma-access, isasaksak mo lang siya. Tapos makakakuha ka ng mga data, ganon. So, ganon ang advantage ng mga next personality pag nag-reincarnate na yung tao. Yung next life niya, although kahit new personality siya, kapag maganda yung buhay niya, at makakakuha siya ng mga impulses doon, mga storage bank na storage o information na kapag through subconscious niya or subconsciously or unconsciously or consciously, that person can tap from his or her previous personality. Diba? Mas mabilis yung pag-download or pag-access ng mga data o
So, ang
information
ibig mo bang sabihin,
previously.
nakaka-contact ngayon tayo doon through mediumship doon sa tao na yun. Kasi sabi mo, hindi pa, yung fluidal energy niya is parang nakaano pa, kumbaga storage niya nakadikit
Nandun
pa
pa eh.
doon dahil
Yeah.
through years pa naman yun, di ba?
Yeah. Hanggang di na
So, kung
hindi na
ganon,
nasisira.
totoo na makaka-retrieve at nakakaano ang mga medium pala sa mga namatay
Yes.
na, parang ganon.
Yes, but we'll discuss that later on, yung deeper about necromancy or talking to dead. It's a possibility, pero hindi siya yung actual na communication na sinasabi, pagkakaunawa ng mga medium o mga espiritista. But it's a
By
possibility.
the way,
yeah.
introduce ko muna sa inyo nandiyan si Baby Dungo. Nakasulat dyan, si Sister Rebecca yan.
Hi, Sister Rebecca.
Kilala mo ba siya, Renz?
I think
Kilala
okay.
namin.
Hello po,
Kilala
Welcome
namin.
po. Kilala po.
Kasi,
welcome Sanse.
Assalamualaikum.
Hello, me.
hello
po. In-invite ko po.
Hello po, Nanay.
Thank
Hello.
you for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you, Ate Rebecca. Good to see you and good to hear from you again. Yeah. I think we met, not maybe directly, pero na-meet ko na si Ate Rebecca sa mga center sa Pampanga and Tarlac, I think. Tarlac, most likely. Anyway, welcome po. And then everyone are open topic. So, but ang binabasa ko is about information regarding fluidal energies from the book. It's a very thick book. Kung nakikita nyo, it's about 300 pages. It explained about 809 pages regarding about fluidal energies, about storage bank, everything. Ganun. So, this book is also, kasi si Billy, he got lots of information regarding spiritism too, and spirit phenomena, ganun. So, akala natin, Billy doesn't study those, but he indulged on that kind of topic, and then a lot of experience, like this is kitchen conversation na since 1970s pa or 60s pa, I think, to every phenomena na nangyayari sa center sa Switzerland, yung mga communication doon between this world and sa iba't ibang planet, at sa mga iba't ibang dimensions also, like yung mga iba't ibang mga nilalang, mga either humanoids or non-humanoids na nilalang is nandito, nasa book na to. It was written here. Ganun. So mga dwarf or whatever, and any kind of humanoids na nag-exist sa mundo or sa ibang dimension ng mundo, is it was written, it was taught here too. So I think yung mga itong pages na to is mostly on fluidal, loss of fluidal powers, ectoplasm phenomena, electronic voice, and remembrances. So that's a topic, but it's really long. So baka hindi natin matapos, but we'll continue this again. Anyway, Ate Zor, may tanong ka pa ba or we need to proceed? Kasi makukuha din natin yun.
Proceed na po tayo.
All right. Question. Ang tanong, does the mental fluidal power always retract into what remains? So, ang answer doon, everything that it intersperes with mental fluidal powers absorb this power right into the center. Therefore, when something dies off or breaks down in the outer area, then the mental fluidal power there does not simply dissolve, but rather it penetrates deeper and deeper into the inner area and concentrate in the center. Only when the center is reached does the actual dissolution, respectively the decay, begin, which however can take very long time. Ganun. So, yung yung mental fluidal powers natin, it will penetrate into deeper core even sa center. So, kaya yung buto is very importante na talaga na hindi siya macromate or something. Kasi ang buto natin pag yung especially lalo na pag natural burial, di ba? Andun lahat yung mga data, informations natin. So even thousands of years pag na-preserve talaga yon, it's easy for us in the previous next personality to access those. Kaya yung mga tao na they are inclined sa yun nga, like meditation or even kapag meditation kasi ma-open up mo talaga yung mga yung pineal gland natin. We can increase the power of our yung 6 and 7 senses ng tao. Diba? If you do more on meditation and concentration, ganun. And yeah, it's a part yon, pero it's part of the training. But people also, kahit na hindi sila train sa meditation or whatever, they can tap unconsciously or subconsciously. Lalo na paglabay sila or minsan nagpapahinga lang. And they can download some data from their previous personality. Na bigla na lang, oh, there's an idea. There's a parang memory na nagpunta sa akin pero hindi ko maalala ganun. But some people also can, lalo na pag kaka-reincarnate niya lang, pag lalo na ma-preserve, they can get the access, even the physical memory ng previous personality nila. They can project, di ba? Lalo ng mga bata. And then they can remember things, they can remember past, they can remember everything. So maraming mga kwento dito sa book na to regarding about yung mga remembrance. Ganun. Anyway, next question. Kung may question, may tanong kayo, you're free to...
Meron.
Oh, sige po. Sino yun?
Renz, paano kung ang sabi mo nga kanina, kailangan yung buto, kung maaari lang wag i-cremate o wag sunugin. Ngayon, paano kung, di ba uso ngayon, cremation, sinusunog ang katawan ng tao. Ngayon, ano mangyayari pag ang buto ay na-cremate? Ano mangyayari sa creation ng energy o sa espiritu? Ano mangyayari doon? Kasi na-cremate na siya, walang fluidal energy, walang impulses. Ano mangyayari sa espiritu natin?
Okay. Actually, walang nangyayari sa espiritu kasi yung creation energy o spirit, aka also known as spirit, hindi siya naapektuhan Hindi siya naapektuhan ng kahit ano, kahit na masunugin yan yung body, physical body. Doesn't affect kasi it's an energy. In law of thermodynamics nga, can be created and cannot be destroyed. So even dito sa ating sa materials, it never affects, hindi siya magkakasakit, hindi siya mag-ano. It's all only exclusive lang yun sa mga material lang. Like yung psyche, di ba? Kasi half material.
Okay.
Yeah. But it doesn't affect the spirit. Ganon. But kung ang tanong niyo siguro Kuya Noy, baka sabi mo, ano yung mangyayari doon sa mga information na nawala doon
yun talaga na yun.
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah, so I think yun ang gusto nyo. So ngayon, kung yung personality nyo as a Noy, so lahat ng mga like memories nyo, lahat ng mga kaugalian nyo, lahat ng frequency or data na bilang isinoy, di ba? Nasunog yung katawan mo. Nasunog din yung mga gamit mo. Wala kang malapit na back connection, di ba? So mahihirapan yung next personality mo na ma-access yung personality ng Noy. Kunwari, ngayon, Noy, bilang Noy ka is evolve ka na, nag-aral ka ng material, nagpakabuti ka talaga, marami kang wisdom na natutunan, tapos nasunog ka lang, di ba? So, but the thing is, the good thing with natural laws, everything has a backup. Yung mental fluidal powers lang sa material, yung na-stored sa mga buto at sa mga gamit, it's only get a better frequency at mas mabilis. But of course, yung mga higher knowledge or wisdom o mga diwa natin, it's always stored sa overall consciousness block natin. And then of course it was so save yan sa tinatawag nating storage bank or aka Akashic record or something like that. Or sa planetary storage bank, universal storage bank, there's a lot of storage bank na backup, even cosmic storage bank. So hindi talaga tayo babalik sa zero. Ganun. But of course, mas maganda sana kapag meron tayong mas mabilis na para siyang transmitter or para siyang Wi-Fi or extender, Wi-Fi extender na pag mas malapit yung Wi-Fi extender mo, mas malakas yung signal mo to access data, download and transmit data, ganun. So that's the purpose of mental fluidal power.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
So, yung overall consciousness block natin, which is magre-reincarnate din siya, katulad ng spirit natin to create a new personality. Ganun. So, anyway, explain ko lang yung just a gist ng reincarnation cycle para at least sa mga like Jaycon at yung mga si Ate Rebecca para ma-familiarize sila ng konti doon sa material. So, what material said, kapag nag-reincarnate ang tao, kasi ang spirit form is the only thing na nagre-reincarnate. But the personality, like ako, si Kuya Noy, it's panibago siya. It's a new personality kasi hindi forever magiging Noy ka, hindi forever Renz ka kasi you can be reincarnated on different ages and different gender or different personality o bagong pagkatao. So ang magre-reincarnate lang is the spirit form or the creation energy form and then the overall consciousness block to create a new consciousness block means consciousness o kamalayan na panibago like personality, ego, ganun. So yun yung mga panibago o clean slate na mag-i-incarnate kasi pag bago kasi incarnate, di ba? Pag reincarnate is yung dati, which is the spirit form and then the overall consciousness block. Ganun. So, yun, magre-reincarnate ang spirit form, not yung personality. Personality, it will be dissolved in time. Kasi pag namatay na, madi-dissolve na yan ng dahan-dahan. Kaya nga, pag nag-reincarnate tayo, wala tayong ma-remember because it's a clean slate. But of course, through fluidal energies, through tapping into storage bank, through training, meditation, we can remember some physical memory. But of course, ang hindi nawawala is the essences. Ano yung essences? Is the values na natutunan natin. Like yung mga higher form of values like love, logic, anything na natutunan natin, kindness, anything higher values o mga matataas na diwa o kamalayan. It's always stored dyan sa overall consciousness natin and spirit that amplify that essence of wisdom or essences ng creation. Sabihin na lang natin creation data or creation higher values. Kasi yun yung aim ng spirit form natin is to gain higher values or higher mataas na kamalayan, mataas na diwa ng pagsulong. Diba? So that's the aim of the spirit. That's evolution. That's the purpose of us to create a greater mass of energy, yung fine energy, not dense energy or or mababang klaseng energy. So, but it's the finest energy. Anyway, that's another topic. But that's the essence ng buhay natin. So the more na we had reincarnation, many life, many experience, ganun. The more na dumadami yung mga karanasan natin. And eventually, will become one as a universal consciousness. Diba? So that's the beauty of it na walang nawawala. Lahat is stored yan. Every single byte, every single sabi natin, data is nakasave yan sa tinatawag na storage bank. Ganun. Anyway, let's continue kung wala nang tanong.
Si Jaycon Renz may tanong sa chat.
Sige, ano na lang kasi medyo
Basahin
likod.
ko.
Sige.
Sabi niya, so maganda pala mag-abroad sa mayaman na bansa para kapag dun ka namatay ay may chance or na dun ka babalik. Wag lang mag-request pamilya mo na iuwi sa Pinas dahil ipinanganak ka na sa naman bilang isang Pilipino.
Ano to, JK? Joke lang.
Possible ba yun? Sabi niya.
Possible, and it's relative, to be honest, kasi yung buto kasi natin, I forgot that specific time, but yung radius niya kasi kung saan ka namatay, mas mataas yung possibility na doon within that radius doon ka magre-reincarnate. But of course, that's a relative also. Kasi depende yan sa evolution ng isang tao. Ganun. Like for example, yung values mo is nasa Amazon ka, hindi ka naman ganun ka-advance, hindi ka nun garin. Parang lang, hindi ka adept doon sa culture ng mga, for example, European. Tapos dinala ka doon for purposes na i-feature lang yung mga tao from Amazon, di ba? Tapos namatay ka doon. It doesn't mean na doon ka magre-reincarnate. Kasi yung frequency and vibration mo is not really attached doon sa culture na yon o doon sa family of values na yon, sa country na yon or sa family na yon. So high probability na magre-reincarnate ka doon sa mas angkop sa yung mga lugar kung saan ka magre-reincarnate. Like for example, like yung scientist nga, hindi ka pwedeng ma-reincarnate sa pamilya ng parang tawag dito yung sa mas less evolved na evolution na cluster or family, ganun. But of course, depende naman kung saan ka, marami, it's really complex talaga din yung reincarnation eh. It depende rin ganyan kasi kung ano yung will ba. Kasi some people also, they can, sabi nga natin, pinag-usapan natin dati, na we can program our next reincarnation. Ganon. But most likely, ang mga tao, they will reincarnate here in planet Earth. Kahit gano'n ka-evolve. Kasi, ito yung programming ng consciousness block natin nandito sa planet Earth, unless na lang sumabog ito, and then where some spirit form here goes to different planet na angkop sa kanilang mga evolution, kanya-kanyang evolution. So that's how it works. It's a complex, pero pwede pa natin yung pag-usapan in different time siguro. For now on, we just continue this. Okay ka ba doon, Jaycon? But ang ano lang kasi diyan, ang maganda lang kasi is we can program ourselves now kung saan mo gustong mag-reincarnate talaga. Kung ayaw mo na ng religious family or religious country, then don't be religious this present life. Para in the next life mo, mas incline ka sa science or incline ka sa country na ano sila sa free world or something like that, or mostly free, hindi kan, or kasi kapag ano ka rin hindi mo rin binago yung values mo, malamang na magre-reincarnate ka sa mga mas malapit na vibration of frequencies ayon sa last na evolution mo as as this personality, ganun.
If I may,
Sige sila.
baka makalimutan ko. yung tinutukoy mong ano, yung sa universe ay may pagkakataon tayong i-reprogram. Sabi mo nga, kung anong gusto nating nasusunod na buhay. So nagaganap ba yung sinasabi mong reprogram na yun na bago tayo ipinanganak ulit? O para bang bago tayo ipanganak ulit?
Ang programming kasi magagawa lang yan sa pag may physical body ka and then meron kang capable to think and create ideas. So pag buhay ka.
So pag buhay ka na. So
Kasi
yun,
pag patay ka na, you're dead. Your consciousness, that's a different state of state of existence. Hindi ka katulad sa physical existence na nandito.
so ibig sabihin, malaking chance na dati na tayong Pinoy dati at talagang
Yeah. Possible. Or depende sa chance na dati na rin tayong Pinoy or malapit na culture ganun. But some people also na ang Philippines kasi is multicultural din marami sumakop din sa atin. Marami din. And then you'll never know yung panahon ng kahit na before pa yung colonization. There's a lot of civilization also in the East. Diba? Like yung China or India, yung mga Mu civilization pa, yung mga iba't iba pang mga advanced civilization na like sa Indonesia, yung mga extraterrestrial race din doon na nagsettle. And sa Philippines for sure maraming nagsettle din na extraterrestrial race. So there's a possibility. But generally, lalo na pag yung programming ng Philippines is religion, 'di ba? Because of colonization and Christianity ganun. And then most likely ganun din. Yun din yung evolution natin. But of course yung mga evolution din ng from Europe and America or something like that. Ano din sila Christian din, marami ding Christianity westernized, but of course mas open nga lang sila sa bansang Europe or bansang ibang bansa kaysa dito sa atin. But of course, there's also Buddhism na hindi naman siya, may fundamentalist na Buddhism pero may mga like Japan, like China, ganun, hindi naman sila ganun ka-religious but or Korea, they're advanced in technology, something like that. So, yeah, so relative din. Pero hindi siya set rules kung ano. Pero you can be reincarnated anywhere. Like ngayon, kapag na-reincarnated ka into a religious family or something, but through your evolution, pag mataas na talaga evolution mo, you can surpass that. Tapos you're gonna go back to dun sa reality na gusto mong mag-evolve, di ba? Like you want to evolve in music, arts, or philosophy, or sciences, or ganitong creational energy teaching. So you can do that. Like for us ngayon, di ba? Bakit tayo naipanganak sa pamilyang espiritista or naipanganak tayo pero we understand yung reincarnation, yung mga karma, yung batas ng naturalesa, and then na-attract naman tayo dito sa teaching o sa kay Billy Maher, di ba, sa mga information niya. It's because nga inuulit nga lang natin lahat yung sa reincarnation cycle, but we improve it. Yung essence kasi it will remain since time immemorial, but yung form, yung panibagong anyo, yun yung nag-upgrade sa atin. Ganon. So, kaya ngayon dati tayong mga espiritista and we just limit lang talaga yung information natin. It's because yung kay Kardec and everything or sa mga books ng mga founders or sa mga occultists at theosophy, ganon. But now, it's been improved from maraming na-improve na ng mas mga greater na philosopher or greater na prophet or something like that, and they improve it, and then now we attracted it because it's the truth. Di ba? It makes sense, parang ganun sa atin. So umaayon siya sa logic, umaayon siya sa what's Tagalog ng logic? Lohika or katwiran, I mean. Ganon. Hello, Jaycon.
Hello.
Okay? Okay ka na? Or meron ka pang tanong?
Yes. So, it makes sense naman. So, ibig sabihin, pati yung mga values natin. So, nakakasama natin ngayon yung pare-pareho tayo ng same wavelength. Kasi sa totoo lang, nung napakinggan ko itong creation at teaching na to, dati pa nung first time, para bang minsan hindi na ako nagugulat sa mga ideas na naririnig ko. So, baka nga napagkikwentuhan na natin sa mga dati nating buhay. O baka nga nagkasama tayo sa mga dati nating buhay.
Actually, hindi ba? Sigurado nagkasama na tayo. Yeah. Kasi, I don't know kung medyo may electric fan ka ba sa likod? Or
Ay, sorry.
medyo mahangin. Pero okay lang yun, Jaycon. Hindi siya baka, pero sigurado, certainty, na nagkasama na tayo kasi wala namang chance, to be honest. There's no such thing as chance. Kasi lahat naman umaayon yan sa batas ng naturalesa. There's a tinatawag nga na lang swinging waves. O batas na attraction. Sabi na natin sa yung sinasabi law of attraction or familiarity. It's about swinging waves, to be honest. Tapos wala namang sa dami nating reincarnation cycle. So, probability na magkasama na tayo, magkasama na talaga tayo. And even now, even the next life, magkakasama pa rin tayo but in different personality. Kasi yung essences nga, yung mga frequencies natin is in the same wavelength. Ganon. That will become eventually as one. Eventually. Diba? Pag lahat na ng spirit form or dito sa mundo is evolved into one, tinatawag nilang we form, di ba? We form, which is magkakasama tayo, like in the higher sphere of evolution, like yung tinatawag nating spiritual level of Petale o Arahat at Tersata. They work as a we form, so they are iisa lang sila, but it composed of many personalities or many spirit forms you on, but their thinking is one kasi same na lang sila pare-parehas na lang sila ng evolution so ganun din tayo eventually, even we are ilan tayo dito, 10, di ba? For example, 10 tayo dito, but we had that level of evolution and frequencies. Eventually we are one naman talaga. Everything is in unison in creation, in oneness in creation. Ganun. So itong mga ideas natin, itong mga evolution natin, everything is stored sa planetary storage bank, sa cosmic storage bank, ganun. And eventually, people will tap on these ideas. Kaya nga, importante na i-record natin to. Meaning, record not only on Zoom, but automatically it recorded na ito sa Earth Consciousness. So, the more na lumalakas yung presensya natin sa Pilipinas, or sa buong mundo, the more na natutulungan din natin mag-evolve yung kapwa-tao din natin. Kasi we're all one naman Kasi the more na we influence, actually whether we like it or not, we influence our surroundings because of that energy that we emit. Diba? Kasi nag-emit tayo ng energy regardless either negative or positive or whatever kind of frequencies yan, or different fluctuation, we emit and people receive it and people transmit it also. So ganun yung swinging waves. Bumabato-bato lang. That's what they call them, swinging waves. It's swing. Diba? So whether we like it or not, we influence other people also. Yeah. Kaya tama yung sinasabi nila, lahat tayo magkaugnay-ugnay. As we call C's, interconnectedness. Yeah.
Sabay-sabay. Free topic.
Sige, free topic naman ito. Basta as long as we within that.
Matagal ko na tong gustong ito kasi nabanggit ko sa series book na hindi pa alam kailan ba talaga ipinanganak ang isang spirito. So, ewan ko ba, parang sa pakiwari ko lang o puro ko lang sa sarili ko na parang ang espiritu ay nag-e-evolve naman, alam naman natin na nag-e-evolve ang espiritu. Pero para bang naisip ko na parang mayroon bang ibang branches ng mga consciousness din pero hindi siya ka-branches ng espiritu natin. Pero mas mataas sila. Kasi napakalawak ng universo para sabihin tayo yung intelligence creature ng universo. So, minsan naisip ko din na baka posibilidad na may iba ring spirits pero hindi natin sila kalinya o ka-lineage. So yun yung kuro-kuro pero ang tanong ko talaga diyan is maaari bang nagsimula na ang spirits noong pang Big Bang? Kasabay ng Big Bang ay sa pagtama ng Big Bang sa ganong phenomena ay iba't ibang klaseng elemento o kung ano pa mga komposisyon na nangyari. So, ibig sabihin, hindi lang matter ang nabuo, kundi parang ibang dimension din ng mga matter. Like, basta di ko siya ma-explain, para bang nag-expand ang universe natin, kasabay ng pag-expand ng universe, ibig sabihin, kasabay din na may mga bagong nalilikhang mga energies. And we are energy also. So, ibig sabihin, matanda na tayo. O para sa akin kung gaano nakatanda tong universe na kinatitirikan natin o ginagalawan natin, parang maaari bang kasabay natin itong nalikha? Kasi parang bang hindi naman pwedeng nalang na lahat tapos bigla tayong lilitaw. Para sa akin kasi parang dapat sabay-sabay. Kasi sabay-sabay nalikha lahat eh. Pero hindi ko alam, parang hindi ko pa mag-grasp.
Actually, yung hindi mo lang siya ma-articulate but yung logic mo, nakukuha mo na siya because you had that process. Because of that, yung sinasabi mo nga. But according to information, actually yung everything is an energy. Lahat naman enerhiya yan nag-umpisa. Kahit na yung mga state of matter is also an energy but in material form, like anything. State of matter, solid, liquid, gas. For example, di ba, in-explain natin dati, yung water, di ba? It can be solid, liquid, or gas, or ionized, or something. O meron pa siyang boson. Anyway, that's a different topic. But sinasabi ko lang, it can be in different form, but it's same water. Di ba? So, ang energy kasi, it's always been an energy since beginning. Kasi, but it has different form, diba? Like for example, yung yung kahoy, diba? Pag sinunog mo yan, it transfer into a fuel, and that fuel becomes an heat energy, ganun. Pero dating solid yun na kahoy o wood, diba? O lumber, it becomes an energy. Pero hindi naman nawala yung energy na transfer lang into different form, ganun. So, ganun din ang paglikha o pagkalikha or creation. So, first, kung umpisan natin, we all start talaga sa tinatawag nilang, of course, just absolute nothingness, di ba? Pero it's not nothingness to be. It's oxymoron. It's just, papahapyawan ko lang to, but it's a different topic also. It's all written here sa book na, or, I don't know, you cannot see this, but yung or na libro or so that's the beginning of everything, yung sa or. So yung absolute nothingness, which is not nothingness talaga, it's not nothing, it's just written because of materialism or literalism, di ba? Nasabi na yung nothingness, but it's just no matter on it, just no single matter, ganon. So nag-start yun sa mahabang panahon. Mahabang panahon. It takes a lot of time yan on. We call it time yan on. Many time yan on. So, and then that nothingness, there's there's a tinatawag na being absolute, di ba? Pag sinabi nating being absolute or sein absolutum, absolute, it's absolute. That's all perfect, it's timelessness, it's material, walang material lahat. It's all energy is pure, ganun. And those being absolute, they create parang levels yan eh, yung mga maliliit. And then doon tayo sa pinakamababang 7 level of absolutes or the absolute yung tinatawag nilang absolute. Yun yung pinakamataas dito sa mas mataas pa sa atin as creation. Diba? Although that's creation is really vast also, it composed of different level of evolution. So yung absolute, it creates that creation. Na that creation also can create different creations. Pag sinabi kong creations, it is the, sabi natin, universe, all the material universe. Although creations also break down on different dimensions eh. I mean, it's not space-time dimension, but level of dimension like core creations, energy, and then the fourth belt, which is tayo, yung fourth belt. I will not go into the detail, but the fourth belt, yung material belt pa lang natin. Itong material belt kung saan mayroong physical, material, or dense energy, or dense matter, or mga matter. Nandito lang yan sa fourth belt of creation. Diba? And then this fourth belt of creations, it renews every 49 billion cycle. So inuulit-ulit lang natin in 49 billion. So new universe, magkakaroon ng supernova, new Big Bang, new black hole, new white holes, and everything exploding. It's just new creation every 49 billion cycle ng material belt. But nga, magre-renew yan into, sabi nga, in 300 trillion years of existence, like expanding. Like from the first Big Bang, ito yung creation na sinasabi kong Big Bang, first Big Bang of creation from the ball of energy and expand into like a bubbles, into different top of the bubbles. So yun, nakikita mo yung scenario niya. So dadami yun, different vast of universe. So actually, there's no such thing as originality because everything is already in a programming of system or creation programming. So wala nang bago talaga sa atin. So tayo naman in very tiny planet like Earth, ganun. And then once na yung Earth natin na nag-evolve na yung Earth natin, yung planetary natin na it's capable to host a life like first viruses, bacteria, di ba? Yung mga microorganisms na yan, they can host a life. So there's a evolution until plant kingdom, animal kingdom, and the higher intelligent animals, ganon. And then until such for na mag-evolve ang human beings, di ba? And then we can have a rationality, intellect, ganon. Of course, on human beings na capable na kasi yung brain natin to host a spirit energy or creation energy. And that's where we evolve as a human being right now. But of course, hindi lang tayo yung unang planeta sa buong universo. No, there's a billions of planet or zillions of planet na mas advanced na sa atin that they already finished that kind of evolution na hinihingi yung path na evolution na yun, they already been there on that path of evolution. So everything, sabi ko nga, parang hindi siya original kasi any ideas we had, it's already an ideas ng iba't ibang mundo, di ba? Kasi it's all universal yan eh. So kung there's, kaya sinabing universal truth, kasi kung ano yung essence of truth dito sa Earth, it's the essence of the truth of everything. Yung batas ng naturalesa dito is it works also sa naturalesa doon sa mundo na yon in same essence, di ba? But of course in different form, different understanding, different paano nila interpret yung batas na yon, but it's all the same kasi we're in one creation, ganun. So yung sinasabi mo na ikala mo na meron na nag-evolve, there is already evolved. And tayong spirit, yung ano kasi lang natin, yung consciousness memory natin, nandito lang sa presence na time and dimension ngayon. But of course, you also exist in the future. Diba? Yung spirit form mo kasi, ang spirit form or creation energy, it transfers in different time dimension. Past, present, future, andun ka. Diba? So, kasi hindi siya bound ng matter eh. So you can be on different life forms also. Different dimension. Yung spirit form mo na kunwari nag-animate siya ng different personality in the future or in the past. Oh, that is a very advanced topic, but nakikita niyo yung essence ng spirit. Kasi spirit is creation. It's a piece of the creation. Yung tinatawag nating kabuuan, yung vastness ng ocean, yung patak na yun, isa ka doon. Pero pag inilagay mo yan sa buong kabuuan ng ocean, lahat kayo sama-sama. Walang Jacon, walang Renz and everything. It's just the vastness of ocean. Diba? So that's how you see our energy or creation energy or spirit. That's how you view it. That we are all one creation. Diba? But sa bawat patak, like you are a river, you are a stream, a pond ka, a lake ka, or salt water, fresh water. But it's just all water eventually. Parang ganun din yung spirit form natin. Sabi natin, iba-iba tayo ng evolution, iba-iba tayo ng level ng personality or consciousness. But eventually, that spirit form is gonna be one creation. Diba? And that one creation will merge into absolutum. Diba? Pag natapos na yung 7th cycle of evolution ng ating creation. So, it's a really vast topic to be honest. Nasa or yan. Yeah, I created some videos there. Pwede niyong panoorin. Yan. It's a vast topic, but we can go back there. But for the meantime, Jacob, ang pagtuunan natin ng pansin is our own evolution, our own consciousness. Ganun. Yan. Okay ba yun, Jacob? Did you make it? Nakukuha mo ba yung logic or yung pattern?
Nakuha ko naman yung wavelength na gusto mong ibigay.
Yeah, so yeah. We're all existence since time. Yung creation energy natin, bago pa yung pumutok sa personality mo ngayon, na pumunta na siya bilang J-Con. That energy is already there, which is the creation. Diba? Part minute of that is yours. Yung bahagi niyan eh ikaw. Pero yung kabuuan is sobrang laki. Yeah. Anyway. Any questions or we just proceed? I hope you're doing fine, Ate Rebecca. And we want to hear from you also. Anyway, question. Sa fluidal energy, sabay tayo. Sabi niya, if a human being is missing a limb, is there's then a loss of the fluidal power? Kapag, kunwari, nabalian ka, nawalan ka ng parte ng katawan, like limb mo, is malulos ba yung fluidal power? So answer niya, where there is nothing more, there can also be no more fluidal power at all. Because there's always bound to a medium, to any body, to an object, to the skeleton, or to the things at a place. If the medium is dissolved, then the fluidal powers also disappear. However, example given, a finger or any other limb is cut off or chopped off, then the fluidal power remains present in this as long as the limb still exists. However, what retracts from this into the material body is the filigree web of the spirit form, because it cannot be damaged and therefore cannot be harmed. Therefore, it always remains complete. The spirit form as a whole is taboo and absolutely untouchable. Therefore, it is not vulnerable in any form and wise. And there can be neither spirit illness nor a spiritual property. Only the material consciousness can become ill and affected as well as attacked, etc. Just as there can also only be a consciousness property. So, sinasabi lang dito yung differences ng yung consciousness, the material consciousness, and then the spirit form, which is the energy that I explained that cannot be damaged, cannot be created, cannot be die, hindi siya masasaktan or something. That's what I'm explaining a while ago. But yung consciousness natin and the material consciousness, yun yung mga nadadamage. So yung tanong dito na kung mag-maintain ba yung fluidal power, as long as daw yung buto na naputol o naalis or whatever ng parte ng katawan mo, finger or limb, na cut off pero na-preserve siya, the fluidal power is still there. Pero pag nasunog na siya, of course, may natitira ka pa namang mga fluidal powers yung bahagi ng mga skeleton mo. So even single skeleton na maliit lang or pwede yung limbs mo, isang limbs lang matira sa'yo, is still same lang din yung stored na fluidal energies doon. So we can still tap some data from that remaining limb kung the rest of it is puto na. And sabi ko kanina, ang spirit or spirit form cannot be damaged. So even in next reincarnation niya, hindi siya parang masasaktan or something like that. It's also only inclusive lang yan sa material consciousness natin. Okay, Jacob.
Baka makalimutan ko ulit.
Sige.
Topic naman, medyo interesting tong tanong ko na, sabi mo kasi na kaya nating i-program yung susunod nating buhay. So kung ano man yung buhay na tatanggapin natin is ayon sa ikasusulong natin. Masasabi nga ba natin yung may mga ipinanganak na Down syndrome? Pinrogram ba nila yon? O sadyang masasabi nga ba na makatwir nga bang sabihin na biktima sila ng universo o may tinatawag mong biktima? Para bang napaka-unfair. Bakit sila kailangan nanganak ng gano'n? So, well, kung sa spiritismo, may tatagal na naman na batas ng ganting galaw etc. Pero, ang tanong dyan is, sino bang spirito o ako nahahanga din kung maging ganun ako sa susunod kong buhay? So, ang nasisilip ko lang na katwiran doon ay parang mga bago pa silang sibol ng mga spirito, kaya nga parang umaakma na ganun sila mamuhay, or hindi ko masabi kung naging judgmental nga ba akong o ano. Pero naghahanap kasi ako ng mas makatwiran eh.
Actually, nakuha mo na yung katwiran. Nakuha mo na yung katwiran.
So, ano ba yung para sa inyo doon?
Tama. Your thoughts is right. Kasi yung mga na spirit form na nag-reincarnate sa mga Down syndrome or sa mga hindi less evolved like na personality, of course less evolved din yung spirit niya. Kasi like for example, yung katawan, yung spirit form, it cannot be. But of course there's also another factor, like for example, mataas na spirit form ka, tapos nagkaroon ng yung fetus mo nag-reincarnate na kasi in 21 days or 3 weeks yung bagong spirit form, kasi it creates new personality na siya, di ba? Tapos in event of pregnancies, nagkaroon ng deformities. So nandun ka na, highly evolved ka na, pwede ka pa rin mag-exist, but of course nga, hindi mo pa rin makuha yung full potential ng power ng spirit form mo, because yung evolution mo, it's because may nagkaroon ng anomaly sa katawan mo. But there always a geniuses na lalabas. Like for example, like Beethoven, di ba? Bingi siya, but he can play very beautiful piano sonata and stuff like that. So he got that evolution na mataas. Di ba? Mataas na kasi yung spirit form niya, but he concentrated on that arts or anything. Pwede, it doesn't affect it. It doesn't affect yung body mo kahit na ipinakang deform, ganon. Kapag yung consciousness evolution mo and spirit for evolution mo mataas na talaga, you will create, or you will mag-impact ka ng matindi sa mundo, sa evolution mo. But of course, kapag yung sinabi nga like Down syndrome or talagang walang capabilities na 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 walang capabilities na although may evolve pero hindi siya makaka-create ng higher evolution. Yan. Of course, that's the new mga baguhan na mga espiritu yung mga yun. But yung mga like Down syndrome, so mga talaga, baguhan ng mga espiritu. Most likely, that's the highest probable, logical na sagot. Kaya tama din yung sinasabi mo. But kasi, ang evolution natin, it takes 40 to 60 million years yung material life natin bago tayo pumasok sa half material. So, we had enough time to evolve, to be honest. Yung tinatawag natin 1 time unknown or 3 time unknown, like 311 trillion years, something like that, is ayun tinatawag nila great time. Sinasabi ko, great time. It's enough for every spirit form here in universe will evolve and merge into creation. Yeah. So, yung programming ng universe natin, meron na kasi siyang nakaset na pre-programming. So, everyone will evolve. So, tama yung tanong mo at yung logic and reasons mo. Align, tama. That's aligned. It's logical. Okay, Jacob?
Okay na.
Yeah.
Kasalita na ako pag may naisip na naman akong mga tanong.
Yeah, okay. Sige. Ate Zor, are you there? Galaw ang baso, Ate Zor.
Nakikinig pa po.
Anyway, question. Anyway, pag may tanong, you want to share, Kuya Noy, Delbert, Ate Jenny, welcome pala. And Way, welcome. Way, sabihan mo ako pag any questions or may nagtaas ng kamay. Question. But the mental, anyway, babasahin ko lang yung some footnote here. Spirit illness and spiritual property are translated for the German word Geisterkrankheit and geistiges Eigentum, which are commonly used in the German language to convey the meaning of mental illness and intellectual property. Hence, the wrong usage of Geist spirit in this context. Anyway, spiritual property, there's no such thing as spirit illness, spiritual property. So, malinaw na yun. Question, but the mental fluidal power of the last body, example given, has indeed no influence anymore on the next life. Because then it indeed concerns a completely different body. Answer. Formerly stored mental fluidal powers, respectively mental swinging wave powers, as well as their impulses, always exert an influence on the next life. That only then happens, however, when the power of the swinging waves is great enough that it can be perceived in mental fluidal-based manner by the new personality whose former personality has stored and therefore left behind the mental fluidal powers. It is always a question of what strength the swinging waves, energies, and impulses of the stored mental fluidal powers exhibit. The rule is that every new personality in the current life automatically connects in the back connecting manner with the old mental fluidal powers of their old personalities in a subconsciousness-based manner in order to profit from them evolutively and indeed in a purely mental form. But if no more stored mental fluidal powers exist, example given, if the corpse or yung bangkay is cremated, then this can have detrimental effect on the mental evolution, etc. of the next personality. If this personality is not yet far enough advanced in the overall evolution to remedy the disadvantage through his or her own great effort. This therefore means that the human being, if he or she is sufficiently far progressed, mental evolutively, can compensate for missing formerly stored fluidal powers, respectively his her missing mental evolution impulses and strict self-effort. Yun. Napakaganda. So, sinasabi doon, may nagtanong na, yung mental fluidal powers ba pag wala na siyang influence sa sa different body. But sabi, ang answer niya doon is always meron siyang impluwensya sa ating next life. Kaya lang, sabi ko nga, as explained a while ago also, na malaki ang advantages and benefit ng next personality natin kapag na-preserve yung mental fluidal powers. Kasi yung in-explain ko nga kay Kuya Noy, di ba? Na kunwari, this personality, nakapag-aral siya ng siyensya, nakapag-aral siya ng ganito, mga creation energy teaching, gano'n. Kapag na-preserve yung body niya, hindi sinunog ng pamilya niya, it can tap, may advantage yung next personality niya. It can tap yung mga ganitong pag-aaral, siguro pag narinig niya lang ng konti sa TV or sa radyo or may nabasa lang siya, ayun na, parang malakas na yung impulses niya, ganun. Darating yung impulses niya, parang alitigtig sa kanyang subconsciousness. Oh, parang familiar na familiar to sa akin. And then, may disadvantage din yung mga nasunog. Siguro kung di pa ganun ka-evolve yung spirit form niya at maraming na-stored sa consciousness block niya, overall consciousness block niya, hindi niya kayang i-compensate. Pero yung mga taong talagang highly evolved, diba? Like maybe Billy or yung mga taong talagang kabisado na yung mga teaching na marami ng karanasan sa buhay, noon pa pinag-aralan na ito. Kahit na nasunog na yung katawan nila, this personality, they can still compensate kasi highly evolved na sila eh. Kasi marami na silang napanim eh. Kasi malay mo yung mga previous personality mo na preserve din, di ba? Pero mas advantage pa rin na ma-preserve mo yung latest personality mo, yung latest mental fluidal powers mo. Like ngayon, kasi for sure mas evolve yung ngayon kasi parang na-adds up nga eh, di ba? Na-adds up yung evolution mo. So mas maganda pag ma-preserve mo yung bago kasi bago yung buto na yun eh. Matagal pang mag-decay compare yung mga butong na preserve na. So ang advantage natin, meron tayong information na ito. Gawa na kayo ng will. Na wag sunugin yung katawan nyo or wag ibilin nyo na sa mga anak nyo, sa asawa nyo, something like that na natural burial. Do the natural burial. Nakasave na nga kasi environment, matipid pa, at least, di ba, or sa plot. Bili na kayo ng lupa nyo, na wag kayong sunugin kasi pag nasunog na, wala na. Yeah. So, kaya bakit ko sinasabing pag nasunog mawawala? Kasi one way to remove yung fluidal energies is through burning or continuous washing, diba? Or decay. Yan, yun yung mawawala yung mental fluidal powers through that. Anyway, question?
Friends,
Yeah.
how about wala bang impact yung sabi mo is natural burial? What if kung yung sa physically is na-embalsa mo ka? Kasi compared to Indonesian, pag namatay sila within less than 24 hours, alam ko is ililibing na siya eh. So may mga oras sila base sa sinusunod nila. Ngayon, ito yun, mas maganda kasi as in talagang less than, as in natural lang yun. Pero siyempre sa Pinas, mostly embalsa mo. Wala bang impact yun? Kasi parang nilalagyan ng mga gamot. Pero wala, sa nakikita ko wala naman mag-impact kasi more on magre-retain sa buto eh, di ba? Kasi malulusaw din naman ng material form eh. Yun, wala bang impact yun, for example, pag na-embalsa mo?
May impact siya but minimal. Yung sa mga Muslim or Islam kasi practice na nila kasi nakuha nila kay Muhammad yan eh. Yung preserved life na natural burial, mabilis yung walang ritual or something like that. Nakuha nila yan kay Muhammad. Although Delbert will give some insight on this kasi napag-aralan yung Islam. But may impact yung kasi yung kapag inimbalsa mo ka kasi, I don't know, but inaalis kasi yung internal organs and everything. Tapos nilalagyan ng mga chemicals. So, yung, I don't know, it can affect siguro yung buto or something like that. But the best way talaga is natural burial. Baka, I don't know kung, hindi ko alam kung may effect talaga yun sa buto, but the natural it is the better. Kasi mas mape-preserve yung katawan mo, yung organs mo intact, ganun. Kasi pag the more intact, mas marami kang mga organs na magkakasama. Parang ano yan parang wifi, pag magkakasama sila, mas malakas sila. 'Di ba? Kapag kumpleto yung buto mo, na-wrap siya ng tama, na-wrap siya ng tama, natural ka, yung natural decomposition mo rin, and everything, tapos intact yung buto, mas matagal yung preservation, tapos mas dikit-dikit yung mga energy at mas malakas yung frequency of fluidal frequencies na makuha kaysa kapag na-cremate or yun nga pag na-embalsam mo, kasi inaalis ata yung organ pag na-embalsam mo. That's what I know. I don't know kung ibang nag-embalsam. Pag nakita ko dati inaalis lahat yung ibang organs.
Pati dugo tinatanggal.
Oh yeah, dugo. Yeah. So every part ng katawan natin is there's a frequency or mental fluidal power na na-store doon. Ang pinaka matagal lang kasi na mag-decompose is the bone. That's why mas matagal din na nandoon. So the more na marami kang fluidal mga katawan or objects na na-store yung fluidal frequencies mo, then that's the better. Diba? That's more advantageous.
Okay, pero 'di ba pag nakita mo rin matagal din ma-decompose yung yung buhok. Kaya pag
Yeah.
nakita mo, 'di ba pag magta-transfer sila, so makikita mo it's either be ang matitira isang buhok and buto. Sa buhok wala bang matitira o mare-retain just in case, or mostly lang ba sa buto?
Lahat meron. Every part ng katawan natin may stored na mga mental fluidal powers. But yun nga, ang pinakamatagal nga is the buto na ma-decompose. So mas matagal, at mas maraming part yung katawan natin na mas marami siyang mas nag-stored siya lalo sa buto kaysa sa mga fluids sa katawan natin like yung dugo, 'di ba? Yung organs, ganun. Kasi lahat yan, even organ transplant, dadaanan na rin natin yan. It affects the other person na receiver ng organs mo kasi meron kang mental fluidal power. So yung ugali mo or ugali natin na maaari matransfer doon sa organ receiver. Ganun. So that's why it's not recommended. Anyway, yun yung sagot ko, Ate Jenny.
Okay po, thanks.
Yeah. So the more na nag-store that na preserve is the bones. You know? All right. Any addition?
So meaning to say ang recommended na ano ang pwedeng i-recommend na kasi sa Pinas mostly ngayon isang linggo. Tapos may iba tatlong araw. So meaning to say ang recommended it's either be 1 day na lang.
Yeah.
Parang ganon.
What's the point? Kasi wala ka na dun eh. I mean, andun pa yung fluidal energies mo. Yeah, they can remember that. But definitely, kapag namatay ka,
best pa rin within 24 hours para
Yeah.
walang mga chemicals or any compounds na mapahalo doon sa ano. Kunwari, kung meron kang 3 days, so may involved na embalming, so kakargahan ka ng chemical. May masasabi natin na may 0.001 effect yun sa fluidal energies. Kung anyway, kung isang beses, ngayon lang naman panahon ng embalming sa late 20th century, kukonti pa lang yung nasundan mo na embalm. Lahat yung pinanganak ng mababa pa doon sa 10th century or 10 generation or 1,000 years ago, lahat ng mga nilibing na yon may paghuhugutan ka doon. Masi-sense mo yon once na mag-activate na yung CE at nandun pa rin yung mga buto sa ilalim ng lupa kahit saan lugar sa mundo yun, mapaghuhugutan pa rin ng konting mga wisdom or mga influences doon sa mga dating mga natunan ng buhay na yun. Kaya best talaga ilibing.
Yeah.
Baga ano yan, plano na ng idea na ni creation yan na isa sa part ng tawag dito, back end na pag-iipunan ng data na medyo matagal ang atras, hindi kaagad na kuwari magkaroon ng 200-year war at wala nang time na ilibing ang tao at nabubulok o ano susunugin nila. May isip pa rin yan na for the next 2,000 years, marami pa naman nilibing ng mga nakaraang buto. So mahuhugot mo pa rin yung mga wisdom doon.
That's why maganda yung process na before na mummifying or something, mummified yung ano, which is preserved talaga. I think I highly recommend it. Sa will na nailagay ko, actually there's no more ceremony. Dito sa New Zealand, never ever pa ako nakita na inimbalsa mo ang tao. I think ang patay, I mean, yung corpse. Most likely ang tradition dito, 1 day, 2 days, pero ang downturn is sinusunog nga lang. Kasi mahal ang plot, ang lupa. Ganun. Unless talagang gusto mo ibaon ka sa sa yard mo, doon sa gardens mo, pwede. And there's a natural burial
Mga
also.
2003 ata yun, nag-observe ako doon sa morgue ng funeral parlor. Dugo lang mga dinidrain nila eh. Obserbahan
Walang
ko yung mga
organ.
bangkay nandoon sa loob ng ano. Kasi sabay-sabay yung mga nandoon nakahilatag. Kanya-kanyang ano bang tawag doon? Coroner ba yun? Bawat sabihin na natin pasyente nila, yun lang na-obserbahan ko eh. Kasi may mga iba doon nakasaklob pa. Tapos may mga dumating, nag-perform na sila. So yun lang, may hiniwa lang sila doon sa dito sa may malapit sa legs, pinakamataas. Di ba laki ng ugat diyan? Yung malapit sa tingnan ko lang yung anatomy. Basta yung ugat na malapit sa pelvic area, doon lang nila hinihiwa at tinutusok yung hose para i-drain yung dugo. And then napansin ko later on lang, namumutla na o nagbo-blue na yung mga tao. Nandoon ako kasi ako yung nagbantay nung firstborn ko na 3 days lang. Dinala ko doon para bantayan ko yung karga ng chemical. So dinrain muna, and then nung mapansin nila na talagang wala na talagang dugo, siguro tansyado na nila yung kung ilang yun. So sinuksok na ulit yung isang hose, tapos pinasok na yung formalin, and then tapik na yung katawan ng tao para tawag dito. Parang pumping ba? Tatapik-tapikin yung mga legs, yung mga balikat, mga pisngi para kumalat yung chemical. So wala ko na-observe na binuksan yung tiyan at tinanggal yung intestine. Siguro ganun nakabisa yung formalin ngayon na ultimo yung nasa loob ng tiyan mo, hindi basta mabubulok din for the next 7 days kaagad kay preserve na preserve. Well, anyway, mga isda naman dito sa Pilipinas pinoformalin, so gamit ka-alala. Marami na tayong formalin tawan.
Yeah, I think we need to investigate or research kung ano ba yung effect ng formalin or embalming doon sa yung chemical kasi yan, we don't know kasi mababasa ko sabi it turns black daw eventually yung buto in 3 months. So I don't know, it affects that yung quality ba ng bones mo. But for sure may effect yung mga chemicals na ipinapasok sa katawan natin, di ba?
Alam ko
So,
yung formaldehyde, which is also one of the embalming chemicals. Ang nabasa ko niyan, if memory serves me right, is yung logic mo maapektuhan. Medyo walang pinagkaiba tayo sa, ewan ko lang kung tama yung analysis ko. Walang pinagkaiba yan sa pag meron kang baso na tingga. Ba mga Romans nung araw, baso nila tingga. Kaya ganun ka mood swing ang mga emperor sa mga tao nila. Ganun sila katindi mamuhay.
Yeah. Alright, let's investigate that. Pero ang recommendation for us is natural burial. Just an information. It's up to you what you want to do in your body, but that's the recommendation to take advantage on the fluidal energies. Anyway, move on.
Kung
Question.
magpa-imbalsama ka,
Ah,
o
sige.
tradisyon ng pamilya mo yun, wag mo naman masyadong isipin yun. Kasi yung 80 years na fluidal energy na fine energy na hindi naman yun physical level ang ano niya. Kasi yung papasok sa katawan mo, ano yun, tawag dito, coarse matter yun. Pero yung nabaon sa buto, fine matter yun.
Fine
So,
matter, yeah.
hindi siguro masyadong mai-influencehan ng, kung gaya sinabi ko na 0.0001% lang siguro ang magagawa nun, halos sabihin natin halos wala. Kasi kung naisip ni creation na ganun pagdating ng panahon ipipreserve ng tao ang katawan niya for the next 1,000 years, may naisip na sila na solution doon. For the last million years naman, may backup plan naman, may storage bank naman. So,
Yeah,
negligible.
exactly. That's the thing. There's a storage bank also. That's why I'm very important siguro. If you really want to take advantage from your mental fluid power, is do meditation. At do yan, palakasin mo yung pineal gland mo. Yung, di ba? But of course, you will never, parang mali din yung impulses kasi. So, may advantage din talaga yung makakuha ka. Kasi pag preserve pa yung body mo and storage fluidal energies mo, next personality, malakas yung alitigtig talaga yung pulse. So, baka kailangan mag-meditate. O kailangan kung ano tong material. Di ba? So, malamang, that's advantageous talaga. But of course, sabi nga dito, pag highly evolved ka na, mako-compensate mo din naman yung mga na-loss na mental fluidal power mo. Anyway, let's move on. For this purpose, for this purpose, does the human being then have to return to the place where his or her personality had lived? So, pabalik ba tayo doon sa lugar na kung saan tayo tumira? Answer. The new personality does not have to be born back to the place or location where the old mental fluidal powers are stored. The connection with the powers happen in a swinging wave-based manner through the subconscious form, through the arising connection of the subconsciousness, which automatically establish contact with mental fluidal powers of the former personalities, and under circumstances triggers manifestations. That is why it is indeed also possible that after hundreds of years, so-called ghosts or multo can still appear somewhere, even though the human being is already for the 6th time living a new life as a new personality. Through the psyche and all mental powers via subconsciousness, therefore through all mental energies, impulse, and powers, the human being triggers the manifestation with regard to formerly stored mental fluidal powers, through which this begin to become active through distant motion, respectively telekinesis, etc., and indeed either visibly or invisibly or audibly. So, kahit na hindi tayo bumalik doon sa lugar kung saan tayo nanirahan nung previous personality natin, through subconscious, automatically, we can activate that fluidal powers o mga na-stored na mga mental fluidal powers or energies sa lugar na yon. That's why kahit na ilang beses ka nang mag-reincarnate, yung previous personality mo, kung talagang intact yung fluidal powers doon o fluidal energies, pwedeng mag-activate at pwedeng mag-apparisyon, nagmulto, ganun. Kasi pwedeng mong i-activate, like yung kwento nga na yung bata nga doon sa America, may scientist na-observe nila, may sa bahay na yon sa antique house, may every 3 o'clock ng hapon, may nagpaparamdam na bata na parang kumakatok, naglalaro, nag-ano ng swing. Nakikita nila audibly and visually, visibly, nakikita nila na mayroong tagang apparition na bata. And then they found out na yung apparition na yon, nangyayari lang yun every 3 o'clock kapag natutulog yung matanda doon sa kabilang block. na lumipat lang. Dati pala siyang nakatira doon sa old house na yun. So yung mga mental fluidal powers niya from yung kabataan niya siguro 19 years old natin. Kabataan niya, nanatili pa rin doon yung memories niya. So ikaw natulog unconsciously or subconsciously ina-activate mo yung mga apparition na yun. So yung mga kwento na sa spiritista, most likely na ang turo sa atin is apparition daw yung mga multo or something like that. But it's all mental fluidal power energies na na-store doon sa mga lugar na yun, and then it activated by that person, either medium or either yung taong nakapaligid doon or yung mga either yung next personality niya. So that's activate those kind of noise, that's kinds of knocking, tapping, ectoplasm, what else? All kinds of phenomenal na pwedeng ma-activate yung fluidal powers na yun. So it's not that spirit, it's not hindi spirit kasi it's the fluidal energies. Fluidal energies is like a bioelectromagnetic form of energies na para siyang, in analogy, para siyang smoke, na parang smoke, kapag nag-burn ka ng energy, there's a smoke, diba? So that's a fluidal energies, parang ganun. That's a best way to describe it.
Parang kunwari, electricity, dumadaloy lang yan. Pero merong circumstances na kunwari, nag-short yung transformer sa poste, ganun, or naglapit yung dalawang poles ng negative positive, makikita mo yung electricity in form of its pure energy, di ba? Ganun makikita mo yun. Parang ganun. Kaya lang yung nakikita mong manifestation is more or less medyo masyadong refined na to the point sa paningin ng tao talagang ano ba tawag doon? Hirap ipaliwanag pero mapapaliwanag kasi through
anyway,
sige, go ahead.
No. Kasi a lots of nasa physics kasi yan, like kinetics, 'di ba? Yung paano paggalawin yung mga enerhiya, bagay-bagay ganun. But yung by definition kasi dito yung patungkol sa electromagnetic. So basahin ko lang just for people na walang book ng fluidal energies. Sabi dito, electromagnetic fluidal swinging wave o bioelectromagnetic fluidal energy o bioelectromagnetic power. This concerns on one hand the swinging waves of the mental block, respectively the swinging waves, energies, and powers of the consciousness, the thoughts, feelings, as well as the psyche. But on the other hand, also the swinging waves of the body in all the organs, as well as the character and the personality. In general, however, with regard to the term mentioned, only electromagnetic swinging wave as well as fluidal energies or fluidal powers are spoken of, which is why also in this book, the mentioned main terms must always be understood when talk is of mental swinging waves of fluidal energies and fluidal power. So, yun nga, yung fluidal energies is lahat ng, parang smoke screen, sabihin natin, lahat ng yung mga personality, psyche ng isang tao, kung paano mag-isip, thoughts, anything, swinging waves, vibration ng tao. Kung paano nyo mabasa yung asawa nyo o yung anak nyo or something, kung ano yung personalidad nila, yun yung maiiwan doon na may store doon sa mga bagay-bagay na eventually pwedeng ma-activate yun na akala natin, nakipag-communicate ako doon sa namayapa na, di ba? But that, of course, it's not the spirit, but the fluidal energies na natatap ng mga medium or natatap ng mga labile person or yung mga natatap ng mga highly sensitive person, you know. So they had that parang anino, para siyang para siyang anino talaga, parang magkukorte siya talaga ng pwedeng korte ng tao, ganun, o amoy nila, even sense, they can smell it, Kasi gaano kalakas yung mental fluidal energies, ganun din kalakas yung manifestation niya. Ganun. But of course, those kind of manifestation pwedeng ma-displace. Maraming mga paraan para ma-displace yun. Yeah. Diba? Kaya nga kapag namili ka ng ukay-ukay o namili ka ng mga antique, parang tas isinuot mo, yun pala pagmamay-ari yan ng mga evil na tao, witchcraft or something, tas maraming negative frequencies, you can still get that, tas maapektuhan yung psyche mo, mahilo ka or maapektuhan ba, naging negative state. So that's how strong ang mental fluidal powers.
Dapat pala, Boss Renz, yung mga preso na psychologically disturbed and violent and baga evil ang intention, pagbawalan na mag-organ donor pag siya ay pumanaw or execute na.
Yeah.
Matindi yung makakamana ng organ niya.
Yeah.
Para siya nakawala.
There's a lot of research in Australia and some in States and UK regarding organ donors, although I can send the link about organ donors, na yung lasinggero o rapist serial killer na, di ba, parang namatay tapos fresh pa yung organ, nilagay yung heart, kidney or something. Yung mga recipients ng mga organ is naging serial killer din. Or naging kung anong bisyo niya, like naninigay o drugs, meron siyang tendency na maging addict also. That's why it's very, very recommended na kung hindi kailangan, kung wag ka nang mag-ask na organ donation kasi magre-reincarnate ka rin. Although kung gusto mo talaga extend yung life mo, you need to deal on that consequences. Diba? Pero tama ka, Delbert, na but the thing is, yung mga scientists natin, mga psychologists natin, of course, they don't understand that fluidal energies. So they don't care. Kasi they want money. Diba? Gusto lang nila pera, pagkakitaan, ganun. That's why when I was, nung dati, gusto ko mag-organ donors. Nilagay ko sa ID ko na pag namatay ako, there's organ donors. But I realized na, wag na makawawa naman. Yung magkakaroon ng but kaya I changed it na wag na ako mag-donors. I just want to preserve my thing para mag-benefit yung next personality ko. Yeah, tama. It's a logical way na wag sana mag-donate yung mga criminals, addicts or mga negative slate ng psyche, ganun. Okay. May tanong pa ba? Hello?
Yung Renz, tawag dito, may manifest or kung buhay pa yung tao, kung wish ka pala sa fluidal energies, pwede kang mag-project ng sarili mo anywhere na gusto mo kasi unang-una wish ka sa fluidal energies. And then pag pinroject mo, it's more like hologram, di ba?
Yeah.
Sarili mo. Kung hindi ka wish na tawag dito, i-teleport mismo yung buong katawan mo doon, wish ka lang sa fluidal powers and mga ganon. So pwede pala, there's a possibility na magagawa ng wish yung ganong klaseng manifestation, parang hologram niya somewhere else pero nandun lang siya sa area niya.
Yeah. Actually, some people can do that pero very, very, pag talagang wish ka or masters ka sa pag-convert ng mga energies mo, diba? Although possible kasi naman yung teleportation, mag-teleport ka and then buong physical matter mo ma-transfer mo in one place to another place, diba? Pwede yun. Pero pwede rin pwede mong yung fluidal powers mo. Like for example, nandito ako sa New Zealand tapos magpaparamdam ako kay Delbert, diba? Or sa'yo, Delbert, through apparition. Nabuhay pa ako, diba? It's possible. It's very possible kasi may mga back connections ako pwedeng gawin doon sa sa bahay namin kapag marami pa akong gamit doon or something like that. Possible yung connection. It's like this one. It's like It's like this. Yeah, technology natin. I-refer natin itong Zoom, 'di ba? How is that possible? Yung Wi-Fi mo, connect mo sa Wi-Fi ko, pero yung data ko na ngayon, yung boses ko naririnig nyo, yung mukha ko nakikita nyo, it's through transferring of data. Same as fluidal energies. You can do that through transferring data. 'Di ba? Kaya kailangan mong connect doon sa mga objects, like connect ka sa Wi-Fi to get access. Ganon din sa atin. Kapag if you want to manifest, siguro through subconsciously, kasi pag nandun pa yung mga old gamit ko sa Philippines, siguro namimiss ako ng magulang ko, or nararamdaman yung presensya ko doon kasi may gamit ako doon eh. May mga na-stored akong fluidal energies, yung mga books ko or something like that. Kapag hinawakan ng ibang tao, they will feel my presence. That's how fluidal energy works. 'Di ba? Kaya nga yung mga baby, kahit na subconsciously, pag nahiwalay sa magulang, sa nanay niya, pag binigay mo yung favorite nilang damit or something like that, or yung mga favorite toys na may malakas ang na-store na fluidal energies ng magulang o nanay, binigay mo sa baby, makakalm siya. 'Di ba? Magkakalm siya kasi merong naka-store na fluidal energies. Ganun. So, everything is stored sa mga gamit natin sa bahay-bahay. So kahit na kung negatibo naman yung bahay mo, kahit pagpasok mo pa lang talaga sa isang lugar na negatibo yung bahay, kasi alam mo na yung mga nakatira doon, talaga nag-i-emit ng mga negative swinging waves. Di ba? Pagpasok mo, parang nahilo ako, or sobrang pressure, daming, lalo na yung mga shocks pala, although babanggitin yung mga pinatay, shocks, di ba? May pinatay sa lugar. So, lakas ng fluidal energies doon na na-store. So, eventually, pag yung bahay na yun nabenta, tapos may bumili, tapos na-activate yung mga fluidal energies doon, maririnig nila yung mga shocks, yung mga sigawan, di ba? Yung mga kung anong reenactment nung nangyaring karumal-dumal na krimen doon. So it's so dangerous. But of course, there always a remedy. Diba? There always a remedy to displace that kind of energy. Like, kapag evolve ka, pwede ka mag-meditate to displace that energy, but it's really hard only for evolved person. Or penturahan mo, alisin mo lahat ng mga gamit, tapon mo, sunugin mo. But wag mo sunugin yung bahay or something. But you can change the carpet, you can change the paint ng bahay, lagyan mo ng panibagong mga materials like plants, ganun. Anyway, water is also a biggest conduits of fluidal energy, ang water. Lalo na pag still yung tubig. Anyway, may questions pa ba? Or let's continue. Hello? Take na board ko na kayong lahat.
Okay,
But,
okay ka pa ba sa oras mo? Dahil 7
yeah.
o'clock.
I think we end this in 15 minutes. So I think basahin ko lang yung last
Masarap
pages.
mo kasi makinig.
Oh. So last
Hindi boring,
pages na
masarap makinig.
it's like mental connection or storage bang impulse. Anyway, basahin ko na. Question that will then have to be in connection with the fact that the people quite suddenly encounter things from the past which have really taken place. So meron bang magkakataon na ma-encounter mo yung from the past na nag-take place, yung connections mo. So answer, back connection of the subconsciousness to stored mental fluidal powers in former lives. So one's former own personalities can be based on the fact that connections appear in a subconsciousness-based manner or through consciousness-based memories or anything of the everyday life, etc. In this respect, it can then very well be the case that back couplings to formerly stored mental electromagnetic swinging wave power arise. As that is, however, also possible through storage bank impulses based memory impulses from the storage bank. Remembrance of the former lives do not appear through formerly stored mental fluidal powers, but rather if such memories actually occur, then they take place via impulses from the storage bank, in which case these express themselves as an impulse from the storage banks, but not as an effective memory. So, yun yung sinasabi natin kanina na kahit na mawala yung mga objects o buto na stored yung mental fluidal powers, there's always a back connections na pwedeng mangyari through storage bank, ganon. So, through impulses. But of course, the more na meron kang mga objects na stored ang mental fluidal powers mo, mas malakas talaga yung memories, di ba? Although sometimes kasi ang definition kasi ng sometimes pagkakaintindi ng ibang tao, kapag nag-reincarnate sila, they will remain the physical memory. Of course, possible kapag talagang highly evolved ka, pero mostly kasi subconscious lahat eh. Kaya mag-draw from subconscious and to convert into your consciousness kapag train ka, 'di ba? Like yung mga magagaling na medium, yung mga magagaling ang train yung pineal gland nila, 'di ba? Yung they had that capability to retrieve information or data from storage bank, or retrieve information from that fluidal energies that is stored in object. Like for example, yung magagaling na medium, hinawakan nila yung damit ng namayapa na, and then they can retrieve physical memories. There's kind of skills ng isang tao, pwede niyang magawa yon. So like for example, you attended a science, and then everyone, lalo na pag highly trained ang isang tao through mental tawag natin what's that? Train sila sa consciousness-based power or skills, di ba? Like telepathy, mental telepathy, material telepathy, and they have that skills to retrieve information from that fluidal energies. They can retrieve kahit anong but of course some are really real, and some also yung marami ding mga medium na but hindi ka lahat, pero according to information, it's very very minimal lang talaga yung mga magagaling na medium, but they don't want to be in public, or they don't want to be like, kasi ngayon marami ng mga medium dyan sa TV, mga spiritualist, psychic healer, ganun, but they just want money or attention, ganun. Is all, maybe they can do it, but only and telepathy from getting information from other person, ganun. But there's a lot of good medium also that they can retrieve every single memory from previous personality through tapping to the fluidal energies, ganun. But as then also, ikaw na personality na tao, pwede mo ma-retrieve din yung mga information na yan through subconsciousness. So kapag train ka nga, through consciousness. Pero hindi siya ganun ka-effective as a physical memory, na talagang parang memory talaga na naintindihan mo yung buong detalye. Yeah. Most likely kasi medyo vague siya, medyo impulses lang, and then that impulses or energy interprets by your material consciousness. So kapag magaling ang medium, they can interpret it, sabi na not medium, sabi na medium or mga adept na mga skilled na tao. Kapag magaling sila, they can retrieve every single detail. Pag hindi sila magaling, tapos hindi sila magaling, maybe malabo yung retrieving ng memories, ganun, pero and then they can invent their own memory. So maghahalo na yung sarili nilang thoughts, di ba? And then they create lots of fancy things or mga fallacy things na basta lang to please that person. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's kind of kaya marami ding hawks na ganun. But it's possible. Anyway, question. There's 2 more questions and then I think that's it. Question. It became known that some years ago, scientists had found out that Napoleon was poisoned with arsenic. Could the scientists who found that out under the circumstance had something to do with it? And question. It has that really something to do with the mental fluidal powers? That is really inconceivable. This indeed have no thoughts. Answer. With regard to the scientists who found out that Napoleon was poisoned with the arsenic, it is very unlikely that the scientist had something to do with it in one of her former lives. Impulses from the storage bank and memories of happenings with regard to the other person from the past have nothing to do with the mental fluidal powers, but they can, example given B, storage bank impulse giving triggers from the storage bank for this. But also that is only when it concerns one's own personality line, or when a frequency-based connection with impulses of other former person arise in connection with the storage bank. For this, however, the frequency must be approximately equal, respectively the same, respectively identical. Only then can be such things appear. So, yung kay Napoleon, very unlikely daw yung nangyaring phenomena na scientist na discover niya na nilason pala si Napoleon ng arsenic. But, of course, through impulses from the storage bank, for example, yung scientist na yun, maybe he retrieved some information from, excuse me, from the storage bank and then find out that answer. Na ang naglason pala kay Napoleon is yung arsenic. Yeah. So, like for example, kaya sabihin natin walang nawawala, di ba? So, kung previous ka na, for example, a composer or musician, right? Sa personality mo. So, naka-store na lahat ng mga memories mo sa storage bank. Tapos, in the next life, parang gusto mo ulit i-continue yung mga naiwan mong trabaho as a composer or musician. So, you'll be reincarnated again as a composer or musician. So, gusto mong improve yung pagsusulat mo, pagko-compose mo ulit ng music. So, dahil meron ka ng mga connections doon sa previous personality and previous memories mo, you will retrieve that information again to your storage bank. And then, doon mo ma-develop ulit, mas magaling ka na maging composers. Mas yung dati mong hindi mo na discover na mga kung paano mag-aregro ng music or compose ng music is madidiscover mo in the next personality kasi you're just continuing yung works na ginawa mo. Like for example, si Socrates naging si Aristotle, 'di ba? Yung reincarnation niya, and Mozart naging si Mendelssohn. They're same fields of discipline like philosophy or music, but they had different approach, 'di ba? Different approach sila. Like Socrates, iba yung approach niya, Socratic siya compare sa Aristotelian. And then yung kay Mendelssohn naman and Mozart, magkaiba sila ng genre of music. Si Mendelssohn medyo sad, but Mozart's very happy, very positive. So Mendelssohn is like mellow, diba? But they're same personal, they're same spirit form, but different personality. But they had that back connection, diba? Hindi nila ni-repeat yung personality nila, but they're same works na ginawa. Ganun din yung mga prophets, like mga writers, ganun. They can improve themselves. Yeah, I just want to connect that as another example also na wala talagang nawawala. Yeah.
I have a question. So, ibig mo sabihin, kapag ka nare-reincarnate ka, dahil sabi mo nga kanina, depende sa frequency ng ano mo. Para bang ang susunod na life mo, dahil nga kahit pa paano, di ba, laging nag-e-evolve tayo na nag-e-evolve.
Yeah.
Ang tendency noon, yung same scenario or almost similar scenario, kaya lang medyo evolved na klase ng tao ka. Or, di ba, meron kang nabanggit noon na lahat yun dadaanan natin na sequence ng buhay dahil millions of life naman tayo. Alin ang ano doon, saan mapipili mo ba kung saan ka ganon? Or basta doon ka na lang, parang doon ka na lang bigla na lang na idadalin ng pagka pinanganak ka, reincarnate ka. Kasi sa atin sa spiritista, gano'n ang sinasabi, di ba? Yung bang Sa likod ng libingan, makakapamili ka ng parents that you
No,
want or
no.
request or whatever. Tini.
No, you cannot kasi pag namatay ka na, wala ka nang, you're in different state of existences. So, hindi ka tulad dito sa physical existence na you have the capability to think, create ideas, to work, to do actions, ganun. That's in the rest o slumber period of existence. That's a different thing. Wala kang physical body, wala ka lahat. So, those physical remain in physical. Diba? Like yung memories, psyche, feelings, thoughts, they are physical, they are materials. Diba? Either fine matter yan, it will remain in matter and material. But the spirit form in different dimension or different slumber existence, it's a spirit form, different existence na yun. It's on pure spiritual level. It's a spiritual level or spiritual realm, ang tawag doon. And going back to your questions, it's automatically na kahit na unconscious ka or unaware, you can choose the path na gagawin mo in the next life. Diba? Like yung sinabi ko nga kanina, na mga examples mo, kung gusto mo talagang, maybe next life, gusto mo maging babae, gusto mo musician, edi incline mo na yung, mo na ganito yung magiging personality mo. Diba? You can program that. And also, kunwari yung mga, ito yung mga pag-aaral natin. Diba? Napag-aralan natin ito, kaya lang binubuhay natin sa panibagong anyo, panibagong form. Ganun. Mas improved, mas articulated, mas maraming information, mas maraming analogy, pero yung impulses kasi sa atin, nananatili yun eh. Nananatili na, parang si Jake, hindi niya ma-articulate kanilang gusto niya sabihin, pero meron siyang impulses eh, na ideas siya doon eh, na natatap niya eh, from his storage bank. So nabro-brought up niya kahit na hindi niya naintindihan, pero this is logical. So parang ganun. So in our next reincarnation also, like kung gusto mong different, yun nga, sinasabi mo kanina na maraming variances ng cycle natin. So hanggat di natin matutunan nga kasi yung highest form of values like true love, logic, yung mga pinakapino na mga esensya o diwa ng evolution natin, pagdadaanan natin. We repeat everything. Like for example, kapag yung dati kang mamamatay tao or something like that, of course in the next life mo, pwede mo ma-improve yun. But the thing is, yung problem mo pa rin is same but different scenario na siya. Diba? Kunwari dati kang namatay, healer ka or something like that. Tapos, magkakaroon ka ng parang same challenges na pwede mong i-improve. Yun, parang i-evolve. Kunwari hindi mo pa siya naging evolve yun. Diba? Pwede kang may same scenario ka na pwede mong i-improve yung ganong mga circumstances or problem. Diba? Like, what's the best example?
Parang nagsisimilar na rin sa sitwasyon na ganting galaw or karma.
What do you mean? Saan?
Kasi sa kanila, di ba, siguro dating magnanakaw ako, parang gano'n. Dating may presumption lagi, di ba?
Yeah,
ganun
no. It's not like that. It's a different, kasi lahat, kahit anong paraan pwede kang matuto eh. And every mistake you can correct in different way. Diba? In a different way of kind of evolution mo. Diba? Hindi, kasi there's no such thing as yung parang atonement, diba? Or karma na understanding by Buddhism or something like that. There's always a cause and effect. Kapag may mga cycle ka, ito na lang, suicide. May tendency na kapag di mo na-correct yung psyche mo at namatay ka kasi na yung state mo is talagang malungkot ka tapos nagpakamatay ka in this present life. In the next life, dala-dala mo pa rin yung yung parang scenario na yun, although different personality ka, either babae ka na ngayon or different personality, but dadaanan mo yung scenario na yun na yung depressed ka, maano ka, na gusto mo na talagang kitilin buhay mo, pero in a way na gusto mo ulit na mabago yun, maalis yung ma-evolve mo yun, matutunan mo yung ano na yun na kailangan mong magkaroon ng patience. Accept mo na siya, then that's the time you will evolve, 'di ba? Kasi in-accept mo yung ano mo yung yung values na yun and natutunan mo na siya, and then you will not mas madali mo na siyang, kahit na mapagdaanan mo na ulit yun, mas madali mo na siyang i-solve, 'di ba? Like for example, natutunan mo na yung problems na yun So pag nadaanan mo ulit yung bagong problems, mas mabilis mo siyang i-solve. So that's how evolution works. 'Di ba? But of course, ang psyche kasi din ng tao is vulnerable. 'Di ba? Yung material, yung psyche, personality. O psyche, yung thoughts and feelings ng isang tao. So vulnerable. Kapag hindi mo nilook after yung psyche mo, imbalance ka palagi. Of course, there's a high probability na magde-degenerate ka and stuff like that, and then unconsciously parang you drink a lot of alcohol and then you're killing yourself slowly, ganon. That's part of suicidal also, di ba? Parang ganon. But of course, there's always an evolution coming up sa bawat buhay natin na ma-overcome natin lahat. Yun. Yeah. I don't know, it does make sense. But reincarnation is very wide topic, to be honest. Tapos hindi lang siya basta pinanganak ka ganun. Kasi, yun nga, meron tayong storage bank, meron tayong bank connection, may mga fluidal energies, there's a lot of things to consider, ganun. But definitely, we had a different personality in the next life. And all the values that we learned, we gathered, we evolved, hindi siya nawawala. All the knowledge and wisdom that we've been learned from previous life personality natin, previous lives natin, always stored to our overall consciousness block, to our storage bank, to our spirit form. So it's up to the next personality to tap to those higher values, di ba? Kaya nga yung nodes of consciousness natin may dalawang side, di ba? There's a material consciousness and then the aka spiritual consciousness, or we can call it fine energetic consciousness or fine energy consciousness, the higher values. And those subconsciousness from our innermost self, di ba? Can tap, di ba? Kaya niyang we can tap from ego, yung ego natin, yung I, yung personality natin, can tap from that higher consciousness of spiritual consciousness natin na andyan lang siya, hindi nawawala. Kasama mo yan. Kahit saan ka, yung knowledge and wisdom, yung higher consciousness, spiritual consciousness natin, andyan lang siya. But of course, it's the I or the ego or the personality to do the works, how to tap on that higher form of values na na-store sa ating personality. Ay, na-store sa ating overall consciousness block or sa spirit form natin. So, kaya nga, very important ang pagmuni-muni, nanahimik, set aside the I, the ego for the meantime, and then makipag-communicate ka or makipag-ugnayan ka sa innermost being at sa pinaka yung mataas o sabi natin pure o higher frequencies of our beingness. So if those material consciousness and spiritual consciousness in consonance, in harmony, and then you have a very evolutive life kasi you let the innermost, you let the spiritual consciousness lead the material consciousness. Ganun. Kasi yun naman dapat eh. Kasi ang bumubuhay talaga sa atin is the spirit. Is the spirit form, the creation form. The ego is the high, is just the hologram. It's like it's ano lang siya, temporal siya, temporal. So it's just like a hologram. But the inner, although ang ultimate talaga na ini-improve natin is the higher spirit form natin or the overall consciousness block natin. Yun. Kaya nga laging in every personality panibago yung I, panibago yung ego. But the wisdom, knowledge on all the stored essences and values, hindi yan nawawala. It's always the same, but in greater power. Yeah, that's how evolution works. You know. Anyway, that's a good thing to end this discussion, and then we can
Thank
go
you
back
po.
next. I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you po. Enjoy
Yeah.
po. Marami pong natutunan.
Salamat po.
Nakapag-recall
Maganda
again.
Maganda na yan na ipagpatuloy nating books na natalakayin.
Parang
Mas-
nakaka-relate.
Broad
Anyway,
kasi.
Ate Rebecca, you're saying something?
Sabi ko, salamat po. And then, tungkol po doon sa ating pinag-usapan, whether merong advantage, disadvantage, yung inilibing at saka kinremake. Kapag ka po kasi inililibing, science natin, hindi po ba, yun ang start para po kasi magkaroon ng continuous yung life eh. Dahil yung lahat ng na-attain ng ating physical body, mga pagkain, yung lahat yun, babalik po doon sa yung mga elements na nakuha natin, vitamins, or lahat ng mga yun, bumabalik sa lupa. Pag bumalik po yun ngayon sa lupa dahil nabulok siya, naagnas siya, kukunin po yung kaya yung mga halaman, kukunin po ulit yung mga elements na yun. So magkakaroon po ng panibago ulit ng buhay. Pero yung pong mga information na nasa atin, nananatili siya dahil hindi naman po talaga yun nawawala eh. Nahandyan po yan, kaya nga po meron tayo ng tinatawag natin ang consciousness, subconscious, superconscious sa ating storage bank. Nandun po yun. At yun po, kapag ka po tayo namatay, nag-reincarnate tayo, yun pong lahat ng yun, nare-retain naman po yun, nandun yun eh. Katulad noon, pwede po natin sa pagkabuhay natin na muling ito. Halimbawa, namatay ako, nabuhay ako ulit. Nandun po yung panibagong physical body. Lahat bago eh. So, yung mga information noong luma, wala na po yun kasi bago na yun eh. Magkakaroon ka po uli ng pag-accumulate ng another mga information, knowledge, o kaalaman, karunungan through our experiences. Saka kaya yun po, naiipon another doon po sa ating storage bank. At yun po, kapag ka po tayo sa buhay natin na to, yung mga naipon na yun, bumabalik po yun eh. Kapag ka mayroon po ng another karanasan na dumating sa atin na related doon sa na-imbak sa ating storage bank, na ano po yun, na nasasama po siya. Kaya sabihin natin, parang nangyari na sa akin to.
Yes.
Parang ginawa ko na to. Parang ito ang naging cost nito. Parang ito ang naging result nito. Tapos meron ka ring iba na nababalik sa iyong alaala. Meron kang pinuntahan. Nanirahan na ako dito eh. Natira na ako dito. Ito yung mga naging kasama ko. So, yun po sa experiences, bumabalik po yun eh. Kaya pwede po yung bumalik. And then doon po sa stages naman, na talaga po ang bawat mali na itutuwid po natin. Halimbawa, magnanakaw ako ngayon, namatay ako. Pwede pong ang aking maging evolusyon, magnanakaw pa rin pag ako'y ipinanganak. Pwedeng mapili ko po na ako ay magnanakaw pa rin. Pero ang improvement po ay nahandoon ngayon sa values na tataglayin ko. Halimbawa, magnanakaw pa rin ako. Pero yung pagnanakaw ko, may reason na. meron ng good reason bakit ako magnanakaw. Kaya yung objective ko noon, nagnanakaw ako dahil sa sarili ko, dahil talagang gusto ko lang. Pero ngayon, magnanakaw pa rin ako, pero ang objective ko dahil nagnanakaw ako, kulang ako sa kakayahan, halimbawa sa financial, kulang ako, pero gusto kong makatulong sa aking kapwa, yun po ang naging improvement. Nagnanakaw para makatulong sa maraming tao. Dahil yon ang kanyang aim, gusto niyang makatulong, pero wala siyang kakayahan. So, ang improvement, nandoon po ngayon yun. So, yun ang improvement na nangyayari. Kaya dito sa ating live, yung sinasabi nating reincarnation, hindi naman ibig sabihin na yung tayo katulad ng aming pinaniniwalaan dahil ako ay isang spiritista, na ang reincarnation, ang pattern na yung reincarnation ay pagpapahusay, pagpapagaling ng ating kaalaman, ng ating kakayahan, pag-i-improve ng ating individuality, ng ating spirituality. So ini-improve po yung kaya yun ang essence ng reincarnation. Nililinis dahil tayo'y naging magaspang, ugali, yung attitude natin. So sa bawat pagre-reincarnate natin, yun po yung pinaniniwalaan ng mga espiritista o namin na nililinis tayo para tayo ay maging kaisa ng Almighty doon sa kanyang naisin o sa kanyang objective na hindi ko alam kung tayo magtutugma. Pero yun po ang aming paniniwala na tayo ay maging sakdal, maging wagas, maging banal. So yun po, yung pong sinasabi na pagbabayad utang, yun po para sa akin wala yun eh. Kasi paano tayo magbabayad ng utang kung hindi naman natin alam kung ano yung ating pinanggalingan? Paano po magbabayad ng utang kung yung ating physical body na ginamit naagnas na, nabulok na, bago na? So ibig sabihin bago. Ang nakapaloob po doon, hindi pagbabayad ng utang, kung hindi pagpupuno sa bawat pagkukulang na ating naisagawa. Dahil bawat ginagawa po nating mga tao dito sa mundo ay mayroon tayo ng pananagutan. Dahil mayroon tayo ng pananagutan. Lahat tayo ay responsible doon sa ating mga galaw dahil tayo ay naging malaya sa bawat paggalaw natin. Malaya kung ano ang gusto natin, malaya sa pagpili, kung paano natin hahawakan, pamamahalaan ng buhay natin, kung saan natin ito gusto. Nandun po yung magiging pananagutan natin. Kaya nandun po yung pagkukulang. Yun po yung tinatawag natin, para sa akin, yun ang tinatawag kong karma. Kapag gumawa ako ng negative, ibig sabihin, ang pagkukulang ko nandoon sa negative. Kaya ang magiging result, yun po ang cause. Ang magiging result, katumbas din po noong naging cause ko o ka-level niya o kaya ay pwede rin po na magiging kahit sabihin natin may slight na level niya. So yun po yung kaya meron po tayong tinatawag na ang kakambal po noong karma ay law of attraction. Yung bang attraction, repulsion, yung paghalina, pagtulak, so nandun po yun eh. So kapag ang ating pong hinapit, kapag ang ating hinalina ay hindi maganda, so doon tayo lalakad dahil yun ang ating igagawa ng activities. Dahil anuman ang mabuo sa ating isipan, whether ito ay tama o mali, kapag nabuo yun, doon po tayo gumagawa ngayon ng mga program na ating lalakaran. So kung tayo ay mali, siyempre po, ang magiging result noon, mali. Kaya lahat ng gawin natin, magiging pananagutan natin na atin po ngayon na kinakailangang maunawaan to improve para ma-develop ang ating sarili. So sa pagdidevelop po natin ng ating sarili yun, doon po unti-unti na yung na-attain natin o nakaka-step tayo para pumunta tayo doon sa ating higher spirituality. So yun po yung aking pagkaalam. Yun po ang aking pag-aaral. At yun din po ang aking nakuha sa ating pag-aaral at discussion ngayon sa gabing ito. Kaya maraming salamat po.
Thank you po. I hope you can join us again because you summarized everything's perfectly right. To be honest, I mean same essence, different
Salamat
form,
po.
but I hope you can join us at the Rebecca every Friday. If you had time, please join us and we can discuss more and we can gather more wisdoms. Because the more we discuss like this, the more may mga ideas ba na bumabatot, parang impulses na alitigtig ang bawat isa. And then, oh yes, this is it. And then you articulate it and others articulate it and then everyone form a new ideas, which is improve our evolution, our consciousness evolution. Yeah, just thank you very much for joining us for tonight. And
Modern spiritist.
Thank you rin po.
Modern spiritist na si Ate Baby.
I know,
Opo, agree
yeah.
po ako
That's what
doon.
we need.
Agree po ako doon.
We need people like this. I mean, some spiritista, they need to evolve also. We don't need to be stuck on the old. I mean, it's mga okay naman yung mga sa mga paniniwalang ano, pero as a scientist, diba? Spiritism is a science. We need to improve every information and we need to question, himayin, and then find a new bagong improvements, bagong findings, di ba? That's how science works. We don't stagnate in kung ganito na tayo, ganito na. But I wish most spiritistas like this, di ba? Open, yeah, and everything. There's a lot to talk, to be honest. Truth, there's only one universal truth, regardless of ano yung form na yan, ano yung form, but it's still the truth. So truth is universal. No one owns the truth. It's everyone's. It's everywhere. You know. So it's up to us to find the truth to ourselves. Yeah, as a scientist. Anyway, thank you. And
Salamat po. Salamat po sa lahat.
And you can listen to this recording again. I will upload it. Thank you. And
Okay po.
Thank
Sanse,
you.
sana po
Salamat
makabalik
po.
po,
Salamat.
makapag-attend uli si Sanse.
Bye-bye.
Salamat po, Ate Soray, sa pag-invite kay Sanse.